everybody, it's Scott coming at you from the Disc Giant Superstore to tell you about the disc that just came in for the Monster at Mayors and a couple other things that came in with it, but we'll keep this one as brief as possible. So, let's go check it out. If you haven't seen the Monster at Mayors artwork, people are digging it. It's got this voodoo mayor that's kind of like this ant head mayor that's got a voodoo theme. People are digging it, but this particular disc is a Glow AVR3. A lot of people like AVR3 for its stability, and this Glow configuration is even more stable, and it's color glow. So there's a limited edition number, limited number of those. While we're on colored glow, I'm going to bring out this stack. This stack is special, not just because this is one of the only places you can obtain a colored glow destroyer, but this is the first time I have ever seen a glow destroyer in anything below like a 170. They're almost always max weight. This stack is going to go as low as 163, which is fantastic, and there's a whole bunch of max weights in here also, but it'll go from 163 all the way up to max weight. Next up, let's stay with the colored glow. We got a stack of colored glow Thunderbirds. There's some different stamp colors. All of these are going to have a variety of stamp colors. There's a nice black stamp that'll give you a good idea about what the art is like. It's the voodoo mayor, and he's holding like a flaming basket, and it's my standard creepy weirdness because that's what I like, and that's what people know me for. Okay, that's fine. It's not all like that, but a lot of it is. We're going to get into Firebirds here. There's two stacks of Firebirds. They're small stacks, but the first stack is this stack of Splatter Stars. All of the Firebirds in these two stacks are going to be max weight. Splatter Star, if you like stability, Splatter Star is just as stable as any other star, but here is the thing about this disc. A lot of people thumb these, a lot of people forehand these, and usually when they do, they like these in max weight. I don't subscribe to the flatter is better theory at all, because some of the domiest discs are the most stable, and they fly further because they get more glide out of that extra dome, and that is no joke. The difference on a domey disc like this guy, if it's a pop top like that where it makes a noise, we'll get to that guy in a second, but you're going to get more distance. A disc that is normally a 5 glide, if it has that much pop where you get a crisp pop top off it, you could actually theoretically call that a 6 glide at that point, because it will go further and it's notable. And anyone that tells you, oh, domey is less stable, doesn't know what they're talking about. Occasionally that will be true. Depends on the exact disc and the exact run, but that cannot be said for all discs. Domey is not less stable as a general rule of thumb, so throw that out the window. But look, we're talking about this disc, and Firebirds are not generally purchased for distance, and the reason people like these is because they're very controllable, very stable, and when they fly, when they slow down, they have a very predictable dump because they're super overstable. Now, flat tops. Why would you want a flat top on one of these? Because a lot of people throws like thumbers and sidearms, and that little bit of flatter profile may feel a little bit better for those releases. This, in a Firebird, a flat top does seem to be more stable. Now, the Splatter Star flat tops, these are almost beyond flat top. They actually slightly dip in, which is referred to as puddle top. And anyone that there was a small batch of these that I had made with the Marmot Samurai art for the Washoe fundraiser. Anyone that got a hold of those can tell you that they are nasty stable. And usually you'd consider a star disc slightly less stable than a champ disc, but those were really stable. Now, this champ stack of Firebirds, we paid Innova extra, and on those also, to apply what's referred to as a special flat top process. You don't normally get this unless it's for a tournament or a fundraiser. Anyway, these are really nice, nasty, and flat. People that love Firebirds for the reasons I've described can always know, on a Firebird at least, that when you have the flattest possible, especially Champ Firebird, that's almost the most stable configuration of Firebird you're going to see anywhere. Like Nate Sexton's, we get into the glows with Nate Sexton's, but some of those are less stable. The flight plates are slightly domed, and in that instance, with this particular disc, that slightly domey and just some of the runs are less stable, but those flat top Champs or those flat top versions are very consistent with when we're talking about Firebirds. Okay, look, this is a stack. Sidewinder's been a hard disc to get a hold of since all the craziness happened with manufacturing. This is a stack of Star Sidewinders. They're going to range from max weight to as light as 168. Of course, it's been a major effort, and it's ongoing, to try to get lightweight in a bunch of this stuff, but 168 is the lightest we could get so far, and we're keeping an eye out for even lighter ones. But there's a big stack and there's a variety. There's a small stack of matching pair. We're only selling these as matching pairs. Glow JK Pro AVRs, super grippy. Glow, if you're a JK AVR Pro fan, you're going to love those. All right, this is a stack of lightweight Star Shrikes. Is that right? Oh, they're not getting as light as I thought they were. Anyway, this stack starts at 161 Star Shrikes, and there's 164s. It's a lot of stuff in the 160s. There's a couple that came in that are max weight. That's the Star Shrikes. This is, speaking of lightweight though, Turn has been hard to find in super lightweights. This whole stack are 150 weight, in the 150s, 154, 157, 156. These are lightweight Star Turns. These are pop tops. So what I described before is these will be very predictable in terms of how stable a 150 turn is, but that extra dome on this disc is going to glide for miles. That's worth checking out if you're a turn fan and looking for one in that weight. All right, back to some limited edition Colored Glow. There's a stack of Colored Glow Leopard 3s. These ended up being all max weight. So if you are a Leopard 3 fan, this will be a little more stable than a regular Leopard 3. All right, this is one people, let's stick with, I see a stack here. Let's go back to lightweight for a second. Lightweight, this is a stack of lightweight Star Wraiths. All right, so that's a nice, an unusual color plastic. This whole stack of Starlight Wraiths is in the 150s. There's some purples and greens and pinks and neon green. Anyway, if you are a fan of Starlight Wraiths or Wraiths in lighter weights, that's worth checking out. While we're talking about Wraiths, I'm going to bring over this stack. I picked one up when I was talking about the pop top discs. I don't know if all of these are pop tops, but that's a nice pop top. It feels like this run is, oh yeah, that one's a crispy one. Anyway, Champion Wraiths, if you're a Wraith fan, these are pop top, they are domey, they are stable, and they will glide very nice. This stack starts at 171 and goes to max weight. It's mostly, these are all 170 weight. All right. Now, this, once upon a time, I did a run of these we did a run of these for the RDGA. These are metal flake gators, among the most stable of gators, which is exactly why you're buying a gator to begin with. They're all max weight. Generally, when you're buying a gator, that's exactly what you're after, is something very stable. So they really don't tend to make stuff that's built for super stability and lighter weights. I mean, they do, but gators you don't see very often anything but max weight. Anyway, look, this is a Domi. This run is Domi, but metal flake for a lot of stability, a little more stable than what you'd expect from a regular champ. The people that had the RDGA release of these, which was, gosh, that must have been 8 years ago now. They are still in people's bags. I think I've seen Eric Wanhoff and Trevor Shields, or a couple of those guys, but that dominess does not detract from the stability you'd expect from this disc. Anyway, that's maybe worth looking into if you're a fan of that type of disc that people have been freaking out about lately, because this is a stable disc. And you buy it for a specific reason, that stability. A lot of people take an R Pro pig or any pig. They buy these not necessarily to putt with. Wind putting, fantastic. Overstability, fight the wind, flip over in the wind. But people are mostly throwing these for approaches, because you can, on a disc this slow and this stable, you're going to get a very predictable finish, and that's with or without wind. Which, of course, everyone knows where we live, and we're always combating the wind. If you're one of these people that says, "Oh God, it's windy, I'm not playing," you're depriving yourself. Get something like this to help your situation out. Or you got to get out there and learn how to play in the wind. All right, look, these are pretty flat on this run. The weights start as low as 166. More of them in this stack are going to be upwards in the max weight, but there's a few in lighter weights if you're someone that wants to check that out. Okay, one more mold for the tournament run. We covered them all here. This is a very desirable mold. Okay, this is a stack of Colored Glow KC Pro rocks. Now, reasonably flat on these. We didn't pay extra for the flat top process, but they came out almost the same as they do when we do pay for that, which is nice. So what it really is almost a KC Pro Rock 3. But here's the thing about this particular disc in this particular plastic. You will see a lot of veteran players use, doesn't have to be Glow, but KC Pro rocks, because they have a very unique flight characteristic. A lot of people will use these to hyzer flip. They'll flip them up to flat, and man, those things fly nice, and they'll turn over a little bit, but it's worth experimenting with or grabbing one from someone who has one if you've not experienced this. I swear, there's other discs that fly. You know, every disc has its own flight characteristic, but this is so unique, and there's just certain things. Me personally, I mean, I know there's a lot of pros that feel the same way about these. There's a certain feel to this. They weather in, and it just gets to a point where it just has this line where you're carving lines through the forest that you're just not getting out of anything else. But anyway, a really cherished mold in a cherished plastic. And this run starts at 167 and goes up to max weight. So there's a variety of weights between 167 and 180. Okay, while we're here on this table, we are, by the way, at the just in table at Disc Giant. You're probably on the Disc Giant Facebook page watching this, but look, I need to point this out. If you ever want to know what the hours are, go to the Disc Giant Facebook page and check it out. They will always be posted there for the current week, and that is the best way to find out what hours we're open, because sometimes it fluctuates. Like, for example, we're coming up to an event this Sunday at Mayor's, and it will open a little bit later this Sunday. Okay, look, that's where you check it out, and that's also where you'll see these videos for other things that are new and coming into the shop. TL3, Champ TL3. We're out of the tournament stance, but talking about those, there's a few other new things in that are worth pointing out. Champion TL3 has been hard to get a hold of for about a year and a half now since everything started with craziness. Look, there's a stack of Champ TL3s. I'm trying to get more in lighter weights and also some stars, but we're not quite there yet, but that's next. Maybe on the turkey toss run of discs. Okay, look, Champ TL3 starting at 167, and there's some max weights, and there's some nice colors in that stack. That's a very nice fairway driver. This is particularly interesting. If you're someone that's experimenting with max distance, you should be checking out, in my opinion, what you can do with overstable discs in very light weights. The world distance record, this is not that disc, but the world distance record has been held for the past, I don't know, 5 years in a row, maybe it's 6 or 7, really, guys, by someone throwing a Blizzard Boss. All right, why is that? Because a Boss is overstable, but the Blizzard is giving them the ability to get crazy arm speed on that and crazy angles to take advantage of the wind. Anyway, you'll have to look more into that, or you can come in and talk to me. I'll tell you the whole thing. But Star Ape. An Ape is one of Innova's most stable distance drivers. I have a stack of unusually light Star Apes to test and try for just this specific purpose, maximum distance, with little effort, as little effort as possible, as low as 137. That makes this disc throwable, a disc that usually isn't throwable by slower arm speeds approachable for people that don't have that kind of power. 137, 139, 145. There's a stack of lightweight Star Apes that you may be interested in experimenting with. We got some extra Pro Pigs in just to be safe. They start at 167 because this has been a very popular mold, so we're trying to keep stocking stuff that we know you're after. We have a good selection of Mambas in lightweights up to max weights, but we got some extra stock ones in because we know these go quick. They start at 149, and most of these are we try to get a bunch more lighter weights in so we can keep that stocked. 149 to 156 on this stack that just came in. There's a couple of these lightweight AVRs left. A little girl came in and got 140, the last 130, but there's a 147, there's a 150 left. The reason I point that out is because if you're someone that has been struggling with long distance putting, a great trick, and you'll learn this once you get to Putting League, and I'll start putting out videos about what's coming at the end of the year, but look, my plate is full. I got to get the Mayor's Tournament stuff taken care of, and we got more events coming, but you'll see a video coming out pretty quick here that talks about the end of the year, the finales, the tag finales, and Putting League coming in January, which everyone is excited about, and everyone was heartbroken that we couldn't do it last year. Look, this is a small stack of Star Shrikes. The reason I pointed out is because they are all 150 weight, and that's a great disc, and that weight may make it easy for you to throw. So that's what's new for right now. I mean, there's a bunch of other new stuff. There's a bunch of baskets, there's carts, there's Zuka carts, but these are the discs, and we're focusing on the tournament, and come check them out and look for more videos coming really quick about the raffle for the tournament and things like that. You don't have to be at the tournament to do the raffle. It'll be televised, but anyway, we'll get to that. Anyway, that's what we have for you today in this video installment. Come in and check it out. Scott out.